Just before we get started, just a trigger warning for everyone listening that this episode does contain themes of domestic abuse and violence. So if you feel like that might be hard for you to listen, just skip on this one and we will see you next week.
As always, we've started. We're straight in at the deep end.
Talking about trauma. Which is so on topic because the way that you have relationships with your parents in childhood can often inform the relationships that you choose to have when you're older, and that is true. You know, they
say you date your dad.
Yeah. I don't think that's true of you, babe. You didn't date an 8-year-old man with a hip replacement.
Sure. No, but they had a lot in common.
That is
my
true.
ex and my dad, a lot of similarities.
Personality-wise.
Yes. Hi, welcome to Leave a Message. This week we're talking about relationships. Come on, Ali Mac. She's in her own
expertise that I can finally contribute to.
Yeah, if we're talking long-term, you are an expert.
I think expert is strong. I'm seasoned. I'm a seasoned professional.
You're probably semi-pro.
100%.
If it was footy, you'd be earning a salary, I'd say.
I don't know if it's my anniversary this Friday or next Friday.
Oh, God, she's just had a panic. How many years?
What's the date today? It's next Friday. Don't worry.
Next Friday. And what are you doing? Bow.
We're going
Bone Daddy. You booked somewhere.
I'll tell you. Okay. Here's the opening segment. I said to Raw, do you want to do something nice for our anniversary? And he went, yeah, what do you want? And I was like, I want you to tell me what to do.
I also want you to book it and sweep me off my feet, but I won't ask for too much.
That's the one thing about Raw. Love him. He won't listen to this, but I'll have to run this past him. So he sadly will have to approve this. I love you with all my heart, but sometimes I just think take some initiative. But he'll be like, oh, but I want to.
Sorry. I just had a very visceral vision of him spitting out that lasagna.
Is it so hot?
We were at dinner the other day and Rory had cooked for us. It was really, really lovely. But they were sat next to each other and I was opposite them, like, because I'm the kid. And Raw was the one who had just taken it out of the oven, so he knew it was hot. And he took this big old spoonful of lasagna. He'd been waiting for ages to eat it because we'd been fanning around doing a TikTok live. Anyway, puts it in his mouth and he just goes, oh, and just leans forward and just spits his whole mouth out and goes, God, that's hot. And Ali honestly just looks at him and goes, that's really nice. It's really nice. And then just carries on. Oh, good, bless him. Get him to anniversary dinner.
But I just said, why don't you book something?
Wouldn't that be nice?
And then he went, well, why don't we go and stay in a hotel? And I said, that's a stupid idea.
Why?
Because, babe, we live here. And
no.
I want to go and spend money.
No, I disagree.
We live 20 minutes up the road.
Disagree.
No. My main relationship issue, let's treat this as my version of therapy for today, okay? My therapist is away the next 2 weeks.
Oh, dear, we'll all be paying for that.
I said to him on Saturday, you're being difficult. And do you know what he said? I need to speak to Georgina privately. We'd been doing this TikTok live, right? And I said to him...
He wanted to book me in for a session.
Yeah, and I said to him, come over and say hello. And he was just being a bit funny because he doesn't like to be in the public eye. He always says it's
public eye, for God's sake.
That's what I said to him. I'm not asking you to get out there on the Wembley Stadium stage. Like, get over it. Anyway, and I said to him, why can't you just be less difficult? And he was like, I need to speak to Georgina. And she was in the room and she's your business partner. And I feel like she'll have a more objective view. And I was like, I was thinking to myself, no, she fucking won't. She's going to take his side, as always.
I don't always take his side.
Tell me the last time you didn't take his side.
Well, if he didn't book you something for your anniversary, I'll be taking your side.
Well, because then I booked axe throwing.
Oh, for God's sake, this girl and her anger management. She says to me this morning, I've had a horrible night because there wasn't any recycling for me to beat up. Sorry, I don't know how healthy that is. But okay, what are we paying your therapist for?
Because my therapist says you must find a way to put it somewhere. And rather than actually breaking things that matter, I might as well break my recycling, which is going to go in the recycling bin anyway.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's nice. So axe throwing, romantic. So Raw wanted a sexy hotel, you went axe throwing. I'm on Raw's side. See? How am I meant to be on your side? What is that? What is it?
I booked a nice dinner
Fine.
at Duck Soup, and then I said, well, why don't we do an activity? And I know why he wants to go to a hotel, because he wants to get sexy, but like,
I agree.
See what I mean? Do you see
You've
what
got to get sexy once a year.
And I said, why can't we get sexy at home? And he said,
Good
well,
point, but it doesn't feel the same sometimes.
babes, and I'm telling you now, we won't get sexy because we'll have eaten so much food. So I said, we will have wasted all that money on a sexy hotel.
No, but babe, you're getting it all wrong. Listen, if you get a hotel with your man, your woman, whoever it is, you open the door, you check in 3, 4. That's when you get sexy. Straight in, champers on ice, Prosecco, whatever it is. You get really sexy, hardcore. You stay in there till like 8. Then you go for dinner. Then you don't touch them again. Until maybe the next morning.
Maybe.
With a breakfast in bed. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe.
But you definitely don't do post-dinner.
Well, maybe we could still do it.
Listen, maybe you could. Hotel, axe throw, dinner. Very good. So how long have you been together?
7 years. It will be 7 years next Friday. At that axe throwing bar, it was 7 years.
Shock on Poppy's face. She's like, wow.
I know, it is shocking. No, babe, you're right to be shocked. It's honestly a God's honest miracle. I don't know how. He's drugged or drunk. I don't know
what to stay with you
for
7 years. It's a lot.
I know I'm joking about like not being an ex, but I've got a lot of things to say and to recommend and advice to give on how to like push through the tough times. Because I do often think in relationships, I'm not talking about like leaving a relationship that's not good for you, because that's this whole separate topic. But a lot of the time in your mid-20s, relationships are really hard.
Yeah, there's a lot of teething.
And if you love someone enough, you can push through. And like, just find somewhere else to put your anger, like the recycling.
Yeah. And also, I guess it's like, what is general just friction and learnings, and what are actually issues?
And that's what G taught me. And that's what...
Did I?
Yeah, because I think that the way that you like handled the ending of your last relationship like gave you some finality about like what a relationship needs to be for you.
Yeah.
And like not very many people have that come to Jesus moment. They just like bob along because it's easier to just bob along.
Yeah. I wasn't fine bobbing along very easy by the end. I was finding bobbling along quite tricky.
She was drowning actually.
I was like, oh, the current's strong. God.
No, but babe, what you did in that relationship was decide what a relationship cannot be for you. That's also really important.
100%. And sometimes you need those relationships. And I had never been in a long-term relationship prior to that one. And I wouldn't even say that was long-term in comparison. We were together for like, 3.5 years?
That's quite long-term.
The girls are like, sorry. Poppy, what's your longest relationship?
I would say 6 months.
Oh, come on.
But situationship 3 years. Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
You must not do that.
Listen, I was young. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine, and it was just on and off, no labels.
Listen, he texted me last week. Do you know what I mean?
And
I'm over it. No, don't encourage it.
Sometimes that's exactly what you want and need, Poppy. I'm just saying.
What?
Someone that you know, you're familiar with, and you just
No.
semi-reg.
You can't have a semi-reg for 3 years. I'm sorry to tell you. But don't
Annie's
worry,
ugly.
everyone. She's young anyway.
Did you hear her? Annie's ugly.
He's so ugly. I hope you're listening. He's so ugly.
Why have you done that then?
I don't know. Ask 16-year-old me.
Also, there's no rhyme and reason to who we love.
Also, it doesn't matter, babe. She's not even past the legal smear age limit.
Got blocks of cheese in my fridge, older.
All right.
For God's sake.
Let's move on. I think it might be voice note time.
Should we get a voice note?
Yes.
What are they called this week, babe?
I think it's your turn.
Oh, I don't know.
Go on.
Oh,
I know. Mel. Because we're both dressed as the Mels from Spice Girls today.
I'm Sporty Spice. Sorry, I'm Scary Spice.
I'm Sporty Spice. And together we are Mel B and C.
Hi, Ali and G. I really like the podcast. I've been listening for a while now. Congrats on 1,000K on TikTok. So I have a really interesting relationship story, drama. It might be a long one. I started seeing this guy about 5 months ago. He's really into like open relationships. He'd been in polyamorous relationships, like ethical non-monogamy, all of this kind of stuff. Just come out of a 4-year relationship. I was like, oh, this is quite hot. It's quite sexy. I really like this. I've always been into like different types of relationships, and especially like I'm only 24. Really cool. Anyway, so we did the open relationship for a bit, or like we just dated, see how everything's got. And then after Christmas, I got a bit in my feels, got a bit upset, and he was like, "It's okay, I'm going to be monogamous to you." So he was pretending to be monogamous, really upset about it. Was like, "Oh, I'm not sleeping with other people," really sad. Come to find out after his birthday that he had a girlfriend of 4 years. And yeah, we confronted him together, and it was all very intense. But what you might not expect is him and I are still together. He's still with his 4-year girlfriend who he hasn't had sex with in over a year. And I'm also now dating my landlord's nephew as well. Not really sure if I want any advice. I'm getting lots of advice from what I call the sounding board, which is like my parents and my friends and lots of different people in my life. And they all think I'm batshit crazy. So yeah, thought it might be a fun one to talk about on the pod. Yeah, love you guys. Have a good afternoon. Bye.
Love you, Mel One. Can I say something controversial?
Yes.
I don't think she's batshit crazy.
I think she's quite batshit crazy.
Good. Love it. Go on then.
Like,
oh, careful not to get cancelled.
no.
From the non-monogamous community. Miss Monogamy herself.
No. Do whatever you want. Like, live your life. Like, you know, be polyamorous with as many people as you feel you need to. Unless it's coming at a cost to your emotional world. If you're feeling sad, like if you already know about yourself, you want monogamy, and then you're shagging and dating someone who is not into monogamy, and then you make him be, well, you don't make him, but like then he says he'll be monogamous, and then he's like gaslighting you for the fact that he's monogamous. It's like, red flag, babe. I'm sorry, wake up.
Yeah, well, it sounds a bit like they had a bit of a crossroads. Like all of that was really bad. And then as soon as they found out about the girlfriend of 4 years and confronted him, and then they like, you know, I don't know, had like a kind of like realization that actually they wanted to be non-monogamous and have other partners and all of that stuff, then now it kind of sounds quite good.
But like, is it good though? Because I don't think she's like good.
Rahana, have you got something to say?
I think monogamy is key. It's the key to happiness, especially if you're. Oh my god! Especially if you're a jealous person.
What?
I just realised what I'd said, but no, it's true. If you're a jealous person, you shouldn't be in a polyamorous relationship. I don't think it's built for jealous people.
Babe, I actually 100% agree with that. That's what I'm saying. Monogamy is key. If monogamy is key in your life, do whatever you want. If you're happy to lie next to someone who's also out there shag-a-lagging, you do you.
Yeah.
But like, if it's not working for you and you feel annoyed about the fact that he is shagging other people, babe, red fucking flag.
Red line. And I'm just going to pull you up on your fucks because I've counted.
It was only 2 actually.
No, because you did 2 earlier.
So that's 4.
Yeah, and it's going to slip over into another hand. I'm sorry. I'm just going to call you out on it.
It's time to bring this swear jar back.
Yes, please. Swear jar.
We did say no swear jar here.
Yeah, no swear jar. I know, no swear jar, but you're every other word now, Ali Mac.
Everyone's on my back about my swear, and I'm just trying to give a girl some advice about polyamory.
I think moving forward, if everyone's honest and she knows about the girlfriend of 4 years and she's now also sleeping with someone else, don't forget the landlord's nephew, now we're really getting into the good stuff. Now everyone's playing in their own lanes and I like it a lot. The thing I struggle with polyamory is when one of the parties is out and about having a good time, living life, and the other's getting nothing.
But that's my point.
That doesn't quite add up to me.
In that situation.
Potentially, they might need to go on a freeze ban together.
But my also other issue is that we've actually glossed over 2 things. Number 1, I hope you're getting free rent.
Also, sorry, I don't even know who my landlord is. How did you find his nephew and shag
Maybe he
him?
has a nephew that you could shag and get free rent, and then you wouldn't need to move, babe.
Over the moon, if we could sort that out.
That would be good. Let's put that in our to-do.
I could have manifested that yesterday. I didn't even think about that.
Idiot.
I didn't even think shag for rent. Silly bitch.
Number 2, he fully lied.
Yeah, that's really sorry. Lying is bad.
Like, not lying is key.
Not lying.
Truthfulness is quite key in a relationship.
But okay,
I
this
must
leads
say.
us on to something very interesting.
She's got to move her body to talk
To
about
get
this.
comfortable, the chibi boobs in place. Would you be able to come back from a lie like that?
I'm not monogamous and I've got a girlfriend of 4 years. Babe.
Absolutely not.
That's what I mean. She's batshit. How can you trust anyone ever again?
Mel, what? You're batshit.
Like, lots of love to you. And like, if you can do that and not be traumatized for the rest of your life, good on you, because you're
but
a
I
better
do
woman than
think
me.
we can be quite black and white in our thinking. And
Are you okay?
no, no, not okay ever, especially when it comes to relationships. Clearly, that's why I'm single. I just think like you never know what's going on behind closed doors. And if someone does make a mistake, I don't think it always has to be like, red flag, you're done, never see you
Guys, sorry,
again.
am I in the same conversation? If someone lied to you and said, I will be monogamous with you,
Yeah, no, actually, sorry, it's really bad.
FYI,
Maybe I wouldn't get back with him.
that's what I mean. She's batshit. Babe, don't be doing that. There are lots of other people out there. Go on Naked Attraction. There was this man the other day who was a solo.
Sorry, why did I think they decommissioned Naked Attraction?
Yeah, you've been spreading
I spread that fake news.
false information.
Yeah, I spread it like wildfire.
And she told Josh Widdicombe, and Josh Widdicombe was like, oh my God.
He was heartbroken.
And now
And it's not
just
even true.
fake news.
I might go on it.
Good.
Imagine. I've got no chance of leading with my labia. I've got no chance.
Well, I bet the feet as well are going to be a bad story too.
Yeah, the feet and the labia. Feet,
dear.
my knees look like two chubby children. And then my labia, imagine. Oh, I'd be out for the count. They wouldn't even see the chibi boobs. Never get to the cheps.
Okay, so
What are you going to say about my boobs?
there was this girl that DM'd her the other day.
Oh my God, this is so good.
You tell it, 'cause it's your
So at
DM.
the moment, I'm kind of on my self-love, body positivity journey. And I'm obviously a fitness instructor and I get very hot very easily, even when I'm feeling quite fit and fresh. For some reason, temperature rises so quickly in my
me
body.
too. I'm the same.
Anyway, so I'm really having to train in a sports bra always. And I wrote this post about how I'm struggling to wear a sports bra, but I'm going to do it anyway because I'm hot without it on, blah, blah, blah. And I was talking about I guess my body in general, I don't know. And I'd posted a picture of me in my kind of sports bra and leggings.
Being in a sports bra is really difficult and
yeah, and
just like a general note on body.
note about body and how we should think about what it does rather than how it looks. That was the general vibe.
And this girl.
This cheeky bitch in my DMs. Sorry. She slides in and she goes, what did she even say? I might need to get it up.
She said something like,
find it.
don't worry about the chibi boobs. Or
Yeah,
chibi-
or doing it for the chibi boob girls.
Yes, that was it.
And I thought, I haven't mentioned my boobs, babe.
And I also just
Feel quite confident about my tits at the moment, but thanks. Do they look tubey? So then I go back, I'm zooming into the picture. I'm like, can you see the tube?
No, also I did say, babe, lots of love to you, but I don't think you're qualified to make those jokes. It's okay. It's like that thing in Mean Girls when it's like, it's only okay when I make that joke.
Yeah, it's only okay when I say it. It's
Yeah.
not funny otherwise. It's loved ones or blood. Otherwise,
That's it.
I'm not having anyone say anything about my
Chibi
jebs.
boobs. No, babe, Mel 1.
Yeah.
You must realign what you want in your life. Because I don't want to speak for you, but I don't think you want a lying toad.
It sounds a little bit like Mel 1 actually might be a bit dick drunk.
Oh,
And I think she might be really into it. And as she said, it's exciting. It's good stuff. Go on, Pops. You got it.
Dickmatized.
good.
I did steal this
Dickmatized.
from another podcast, but dickmatized.
Stigmatized. That's what it is. It's you're showing me the Emerald City of shagging about and still having someone to call a boyfriend and all of this stuff.
I don't think that's Emerald City. For me personally, I obviously can't speak for everyone.
Oh, for me, it's my worst nightmare. I'm the most jealous person in the world.
Me too.
Okay, maybe not the most. You might take first place.
Yeah, probably I'd take first place. But people paint it out to be this magical, wonderful land.
Actually, she says she takes first place. We were having this conversation the other day. Apparently, our Raw is allowed a stripper on his stag. And I thought, no, he's not. And I said to him, I looked him in the eye and said, father of my children isn't getting a stripper on his stag.
And she was like, what are you going to do with them? And he was like, oh, get the ones with the big chebs. She was like, I actually think we need to take you to hospital.
I was like, I think you're disgusting and you will not father my children.
Your obsession with chebs is actually a bit alarming now.
It's really bad.
It's bad. No, I wouldn't get jealous because he's not babe. The difference is, whatever, a stripper's for... I'm only talking on a stag do, okay? It's a one night thing.
Not on a Friday.
Not on a Friday.
After axe throwing. No strippers there.
You're not like emotionally or like physically involved with them.
Yeah, I get that.
Like they're an object. That's an awful thing to say, but if you're hiring a stripper, you're looking at them like an object.
That's mainly the problem I have with it.
I'm taking that away. Like that's not polyamory. Polyamory is
very different.
It's like emotional ties to more than one person. That's why I could have a threesome. We were talking about this 2 weeks ago. I can't do it because all I would be able to think about the fact is that he likes her more than me.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Good luck, Mal number 1. On to Mal number 2.
Good morning, Gallies. Congrats on 100k. Very proud of you both. Been a long time supporter of the Chan. Just had a quick question about relationships. I am a girly on the autism spectrum and I have Rugrat Hoback social skills, which we love, we move. I think that if a boy holds open a door, that means he is lovely and would never ever try to hurt me. And anytime I go out on a hinge date, my friends get uber worried about me and always have my location. And so far, they have been right to do so. So any kind of advice, things like that, how to notice if someone is a serial killer, etc. That would be great. And more travel vlogs, please. Have a lovely day. Love you and God bless.
God bless to you, Mel too. God bless to you. More travel vlogs, okay. I like it. Got to go away. Got to find some moolah or a brand to take us, but I'm on it. I'm working on it.
I must pick up on the serial killer point.
I was having this very conversation with a friend this morning. She's been watching this new program. I can't remember the name of it.
It's not very good, is it?
Apparently, it's like 1 in 4 relationships involve domestic abuse that can lead to murder. Not 1 in 4 is more murder, but that's the like spectrum.
You know that you walk past like something like 76 serial killers in your lifetime. Like on the street, you'll just walk past. Like in your whole life, you will fully walk past 76. See, not just like, oh, they just killed one person.
Not just like accidentally murdered their mum.
Like just ran them over. Like serial killers.
That can't be right.
Go and look it up.
Where are they living?
That's what TikTok said.
You're not getting that in Low as well, where I'm from. Thank you very much.
Babe, you don't know that. Ted Bundy was from a small village.
Good point. I'd also like to say, I don't know, Mel, too, that being on the spectrum makes it harder. I think a lot of people are clueless about whether someone's a serial killer, whether they're good for you, whether they're going to break your heart. I don't think you can ever see those things in the moment. You can only really see them looking backwards.
Also, babe, I want to reassure you. Like, if someone held the door open for me, I would also think they were in love with me.
I'd be like, lovely man, you're coming home with me.
Do you know what I mean? When we get married, how many children we have?
Husband material. But it's not always true. And also, this is the thing about relationships that I've really noticed, right? Genuinely, what would you say? Year 2, 3 is when you really start to get to know someone properly.
I wouldn't say I would say I only trusted Raw, like 100% in its totality, 5+ years in.
Yeah, because you knew him.
I've got serious trust issues, so don't worry about that.
She's probably extreme. I reckon after like 2 or 3, you can start to feel like I know them and I can predict your movements.
And exactly that.
I kind of know how you're going to react now in most situations.
But and I can move with it. Like it's not going to change the course of our relationship.
You could be with someone for a year.
That's why you can't.
And you've never seen them angry.
Babe, say it again.
Do you know what I mean?
Say it again, because everyone's getting married in 6 months these days. It's absolute fucking madness. I'm sorry.
Listen, the longer the engagement, the longer the wedding. That's the marriage. The longer the wedding. Let me try that again. The longer the engagement, the longer the marriage, apparently.
Well, duh, because if you jump in and you you can't trust anyone, okay?
Al, we'll come back to this point every single time.
But it is the truth. You're right. Like, you don't know people.
You don't know them.
And like, this is why you want to go back to the domestic abuse point, babe. People can hide parts of themselves for years. And also, you could be living with like a full-on sociopath. They could hide it from you for 5 years.
And you wouldn't know.
No.
Because this is the thing as well. Like, you can't be expected to notice behaviour in someone that you're falling in love with. Like, rose-tinted glasses is a real thing.
They're dickmatized.
Dickmatized. Thank you.
No, it is a thing. And like, now when you come out, like, that's what happens. Talking about Mel B, actually. Sorry.
Oh, I know.
Babe, have you heard her story?
Well, only through you.
She was like horrifically horrendously domestically abused. She's written a book. She's gone on tour. Like, all of the proceeds have gone to domestic abuse charities. She was horrendously domestic abused. And she was like, you get to a point, obviously this is a really extreme case, but where you honestly like, they basically change your mind and like your neural pathways to genuinely believe that like it is your fault and like what you've done is wrong and like you do deserve it. And it's like, you can hide something. They had kids together. Hide it. Then you're 8 years in and then he starts hitting you.
So bad. And also, like, he became her whole echo chamber.
Well, that's what happens.
Like,
He
isolated her completely. And then, I mean, good for her. Now she's going to Wembley. Do you know what I mean? Getting out, she's getting about, she's living her life.
Someone
also, was that real?
What?
That Harry Styles is the 5th Spice Girl?
Well, I don't know. That was just the poster. Someone in this building must be able to get us some tickets to that.
To the Spice Girls?
Feet Harry Styles.
Are they coming back? I think Ali Mac saw this.
But I have no idea about this Harry Styles thing. And
No,
I'm a Harry Styles.
I don't know where Al saw it, but I then tried to Google it and nothing came up.
Go and look it up. Spice Girls and Harry Styles.
No, babe, I looked it up and nothing came up. I don't know where you saw it.
Are you sure you're not getting confused about Girls Aloud?
No, babe. I know.
No?
That's so fucking rude. I know.
But you know they're coming back.
I know we're going to see them.
Promise I made. Yes.
Started to shake.
Something,
babe. Good.
Love that song.
something kinda. Ooh, jumping on my
Toot, toot.
Someone Google Spice Girls and Harry Styles.
It's not real. Rihanna, is it?
Oh, suck a dick, everybody! Suck a dick!
I'm not sure of this news source.
Is the news source TikTok?
Is it the Daily Mail?
Entertainment IE.
No, that's quite legit.
Okay, fine. It does sound like it's happening.
What, and he's going to be posh, is he?
Yeah, because Posh doesn't want to do it because she's so stuck up. Sorry.
No, Posh doesn't want to do it because she doesn't eat. She'll be knackered. Imagine. One grilled fish and a broccoli. She'll be like, oh, I can't do the two-step, Mel. Jesus Christ, can't hit that note. Got nothing in me.
No, but also, babe, going on tour is hard work. She doesn't need to work. She's married to David Beckham.
Yeah, she's having a good life. I drive past her house frequently at Soho Farmhouse and I always think, wow, what a place to live.
No, just the point about like not rushing in because they could, be a serial killer or a domestic abuser.
Yeah, I think it's really hard because you don't want to second guess yourself. And when you're dating with intent to then be in a relationship, you do automatically have a kind of checklist of things that you would really like in a partner. Do you know what I mean? And you're looking for them, and as you should. But at the same time, you need to let someone show you themselves. And the only way you will do that is through time and through loads of different experiences.
Also, actually, that's a really good point. When you have those things that tick off, but then I actually always say, stay away from charming men. Charming when they're so charming.
I love charming men.
Because then they make you forget like if they don't tick all your boxes, but they're so charming.
You forget.
Yeah. And that's what like the charm offensive does. And that's why this is really general, but those are the kinds of men that can charm you into kind of doing what they want. And I don't really love that.
Poor Raw. He's charming.
I wouldn't say, no, but when you meet him, I don't think the first word that you would use about him is charming.
Yeah, well, also he's not a peacock.
Right.
He's not working a room to make sure that everyone knows where he is and that he's in the room and he's interested in them.
Also, I do like an onion in a boy. He's an onion.
Yeah.
I do like that.
Oh, I love an onion.
Do you know what I mean? But
you're disappointed when you get an
charmers
orange.
are not
Satsuma.
Charmers are not onions. Because they have to tell everyone how wonderful they are. Stay away from them. Seriously, like dog turd.
Okay, what would your top tips be for genuinely I would say 7 years counts as long lasting, to be honest. I know people do decades, but at this time in our life, 7 years is a really long time. What are the top tips?
Okay, the number one top tip is learn how to fight well and get over it well. You cannot be with someone if you constantly hold grudges. In an actual long-lasting relationship, if you want it to last, you can't be keeping scores or keeping chits. And I've only really recently learned this because I can be quite petty. Who does that serve? It's not serving you and it's not serving them and it's definitely not serving your relationship. Find a way. And I was talking to my mum about the other day. Raw does have very good conflict resolution because we can fight, but we can't go to sleep on an argument. So we will sit there and talk it out. Even if it takes us 5 hours to get to a resolution, which means that we can eventually then move on. Find a way to do that. And if you're with someone who doesn't want to do that, that's a problem. Because all that happens is resentment. Resentment is the killer.
And I think that's key, isn't it? It's like when you fight and when you come to that resolution, it's almost like there's a trust that there is a resolution, and that doesn't then get brought up in 2 days, 2 weeks time. And if it is something that's recurring, because I think they say that a lot, don't they, in relationships, most of the fights are the same fight.
Yeah, yes.
Like fundamentally what you're arguing about is probably the same thing, just
Over
a different iteration.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you come to a place where actually that one has been put to bed? And the next time we argue, it will be either about something different or because I felt differently or because it impacted me differently. And it will almost be to better us. It's not to bring us down and to ruin it. It's to make everything better. It's a positive thing.
Don't make it death by 1,000 cuts. Death by 1,000 cuts is
that's how I died.
It is because there's really you can't go back and trace the first time that thing happened and it wasn't resolved. If it was resolved in its totality, even if it then kept cropping up, you can trace it back. That's my number one thing. My number two thing is you gotta laugh.
Yeah,
You've gotta laugh. If you're lying next to someone every night that doesn't really make you laugh when you cry or can't crack a joke when things are really shit, you're with the wrong person, because that's what life is about, they're your partner if you are with that person for life, you better well make sure that you're having a good time.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, what's the point? It shouldn't be hard. It should be, you should be able to get through the hard times, but the large majority of it should be quite easy. If you're with the right person, it shouldn't be bashing your head against a wall every day. And then I guess number 3 is
the whiteboard.
That's actually quite a good one.
Yeah. I wasn't joking.
Find a way to communicate, especially as you get older, maybe when you live together. Find a way to communicate. It's only going to get worse when you get married and have kids and everyone has a job and blah, 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 blah. Find a way to communicate your division of labor in a way that is not aggressive.
Or naggy.
That's me. I'm super naggy. And that was becoming a big problem for him, as it should be, because all he gets when I nag him is, I'm not doing good enough. I'm not doing enough. Well, let's remove the verbality of it and put it on a neutral space. So then this whole thing about the whiteboard came. So basically what you do is you have a big whiteboard and you got to put it somewhere that you can both see every single day. You've got to have eyes on it every single day. And we have 4 sections. So I'll have the whiteboard is divided into 2, Al and Raw, and then each of us have an urgent column and a non-urgent column. And divide up all the household boring things that need to get done. So for me, it will be dry cleaning, book the holiday, send my driving license. For him, it's fix the kitchen light, boring stuff. But when there's no one place for it to be, all it is nagging, messages, Aggie, have you done that? Why haven't you done that? Find a way to streamline that process. And it's all the same arguments. Remove the need for those small arguments in your life. It's actually shocking what a difference it can make.
Amen. Amen, sister.
If someone asked you, how do I know when my relationship is wrong, what would you say? How do I know that my relationship's not working for me anymore?
It's a really good question. I don't know that I know the answer. Get your chebs out then. They look magnificent. Haven't looked at anything else for the last 40
this top
minutes.
from Tala. I'm not being paid for this. It's the Dayflex top. Don't sell it out because I'm about to buy 5 more.
I don't even think that top could do me any justice.
I actually do, babe. I actually do.
Really?
Yeah, I really do. My boobs aren't this big.
Anyway. Okay. I think it's a really obvious answer, but I think if the bad times outweigh the good, it's a really good indication that something needs to change. What I then did, basically that happened for me over time where I was like I largely feel unhappy and I don't know that that's right. And I can kind of put the source of it to my relationship. There were other things in my life that weren't great or weren't right, but they didn't leave me feeling that hurt, sad and empty. So I then had the conversation. I sat with myself and was like, what would need to change for me to feel happier? What are the bits that make me feel really bad, sad, where we're miscommunicating, where we're not giving each other what we need? I then communicated that to my partner. And in my mind, I gave it a date, like a full-blown date. And I was like, if those things haven't changed by this time, then something's got to...
Yeah, good. You need like a deadline.
You need a deadline. And you don't need to tell them that deadline, to be honest. Give it long enough. Give it 3-6 months. Like,
give them a chance to change.
Got to give them a chance, especially if you love them and you want to be with them and you think, okay, I went for dinner with a friend when we were really bad. And I was a few Negronis in. I was having a good time. And she'd kind of like maybe a few months ago broken up with her boyfriend and she had already started dating someone else. I think that can happen quite a lot because when you're the dumper, sometimes you're out of that relationship before you're officially out of it in your mind, if that makes sense. You're getting over it because you know you're probably going to build up the courage to leave.
In that respect, it is easier to dump than to be dumped.
Yes, because you can prepare yourself.
Yeah.
So anyway, I said to her, how did you know that it wasn't right? Because she'd always said they were so happy together. It was this, it was that. And she said that she actually got a therapist to go through this because she wasn't sure whether he was right for her or they were right for each other. And the therapist said to her, okay, if you had kids with this person and your kids turned out exactly like them, would you be proud? And she was like, well, the answer was no. And then she knew she had to leave them.
Good. That's so good.
Really, I tell everyone that piece of advice because as soon as you put it in that thing, you're like, because you give them so much benefit of the doubt all the time to someone you love. But if it was your kid that you've raised and poured into and is a part of you, would you be proud if they were exactly like them?
Good.
If you can say, yeah, with your chest, gorgeous. If you can't, I don't know.
I think also you got to be honest with yourself.
To be honest.
That's how you get to that stage of actually acknowledging that the bad times outweigh the good. Don't kid yourself like Poppy for 3 years. Fucking hell.
Jesus.
Okay,
it's
wrap up.
time for a roundup.
Mel 1, Mel 2. Mel 1? Oh, polyamorous. Oh, babe. You're batshit, we're batshit. It doesn't really matter. You know, like everyone makes mistakes. If you get hurt along the way, so be it. That's life. It's just a heart. It will heal.
I think that's it. You just have to keep communicating with that person and all maybe of your other partners and their other partners. And whilst it's still working for you and you're still excited by it, do it. Like if your whole family think you're batshit, it's fine. If Ali Mac thinks you're batshit, it's fine. If you're okay and you're happy with it and it's working for you.
And I would say keep shagging for free rent.
Oh yeah, get the nephew in that bed. Don't sleep on that. It's very important. Mel 2.
Babe.
Falling in love after a door being held open.
Oh, we didn't really give her any advice.
The advice is you won't know. So just try not to fall in love with everyone you know.
That's not good advice though, babe, because she's already in love with them.
I guess just take your love with a pinch of salt. Just be willing to know that you might not know all of those onion layers yet and you're just peeling them off one by one. And also so take your time.
And also, babe, you're an onion yourself. We always talk about other people. Think about yourself for a second. What is it about yourself that you love and what side of yourself do you want other people to see? And for the rest of it, just keep it to yourself for now.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully she's not a serial killer, but yeah.
Oh.
Hopefully that's not a layer that's being pulled off. Can you imagine?
I mean, I know it's an annoying thing to say, but like if you can catch yourself before you fall in love 5 minutes later, that would be helpful for your life, I do think.
Yeah, Frame it as politeness. Thank you, kind sir. I'll move on with my day now.
I actually said this to G the other day about dates because, like, if you are dating people and your friends are worrying about you, I don't worry about her because I know she'll be fine. But
Why? Because I'm Sporty Spice.
well, because you're you, and I know that you'll be fine. Like she'll, you'll heal.
Sure.
I also know you, so I wouldn't worry. Like,
Yeah. Oh, you mean emotionally? I thought you meant physically safe.
No, I meant emotionally.
Yeah.
Treat going on dates like literally speed dating in a pub. Dip your toe in.
Light and easy. If we're dating with intent, it's harder. So if you're going to get hit in the face by the love of your life, gorgeous, but don't expect it.
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to Leave a Message. If you liked this episode, not only should you follow, like, subscribe,
Leave us 5 stars, only 5 stars, otherwise don't bother.
and leave us a message. Be featured on the pod. Why not?
The link for the WhatsApp is in the podcast bio, wherever you get your podcasts. We love you.
We'll be here every week.
For the end of time.
Goodbye.